Well, the caulking's coming along, and this is only the third tube. I was afraid I wasn't going to have enough because see how deep some of these are? It was like, it's been like that all the way up there, and I got a certain way to do it, but you know, those deep areas, I did those first. I filled those up and took a putty knife and flattened those down, the thick areas back in there. And I thought I would do those first because this stuff skins up in an hour. Remember, 1 hour rain and paint ready. It's already skinning. It's skinning over the top. See? On those, now I can caulk some more under there. And you remember this this stucco right here is loose, so I still got to put a thin bead up in there and kind of spooge it up under there to get that to bond before I put the stucco patch on. That way the stucco patch won't bulge as much right there when I fill it in. It's always good to do that whenever you get ready to do a stucco patch. See right in here? You don't want that to push in when you're doing your stucco patch, because then you always have that ball, you know, that flexible area where it could crack later. So I'm going to caulk that, and I'm looking at this, and at first I was thinking, hey, maybe I don't have to, after I get everything caulked, maybe I won't have to put any stucco patch at all on. But I'm looking at this, and it's about 1/8 of an inch from here to the caulking in certain areas. And you see how this one dips down? I don't want to fill, there's no way I can fill that perfectly with caulking. And I've got some stucco patching to do anyways, and so I'm thinking most of the areas I'm going to have to put the stucco patch in, because I don't want to make the assumption that my aluminum stair treads are going to cover all that, because if it doesn't, I don't want to have to thinking I can do some stucco patching over the aluminum stair treads. This stuff is sticky and it drops, and I would have to mask off the different stair treads and be real careful with it and clean up and all that kind of stuff. That's why I'm going to do the stucco patch next, and if it gets on the wood, hey, that's okay. After it dries, then I'll scrape it up and sweep down these stairs again. Okay, so I'm thinking it's gonna be okay like that. And there's certain areas when I get done all the way, I'll go back and see, because see there's a little bit of an area under there that if I put a little bit more caulking, maybe it'll keep this from moving around the stucco patch along in there. And then I want to look under this edge and make sure I've got all of it in case any water comes down there. It's not going to go under. See, there's a couple little spots, one there and one down in there. See, so when that dries, I'll put a little bit more in there. And I started caulking the edges between this concrete that's floated over the stair riser and the asphalt, the stucco. And see, I did those over there, and I thought I'm gonna wait until I get done, make sure I've got enough caulking, and I know I've got enough caulking now. And then I'll hit some of this stuff too, because even though that's going to be underneath the aluminum stair treads, I don't want any moisture getting under there, and plus I don't want these getting any worse than they are. So this stuff is going to be like plan B, protecting the material the best I can. Because see, along in here, I'll probably hit here, along in here. This area I'll do right in here, that little bit. Up here I'll hit this edge, you know, put the caulking on there and take a putty knife on it, or just my finger. And so you know, I'm going to check out this whole thing before I get done and before I call it good. I want to make sure I do the best I can. Hey, it doesn't take any longer, hardly, to do it right than to do it wrong. I figured I'd show you. I'm caulking this. This is where that stucco patch is going to be. And when they did this, when they did the stucco, they did 2 layers. One is the concrete, is the stucco that they put on. It's called a scratch coat. And then they put the next thin layer over the top. I'm not quite sure what this material is because it's kind of flexible, and I could peel this whole wall off in one go if I wanted. So it's some sort of type of application that I've never really seen before. Okay, so this is just going to help hold it, right? And if I get a little bit on the stucco, it's okay if I do, because once I put the stucco patch on, I'm gonna go over that joint just a hair. Okay. Now I can kind of wipe it this way because I want to get it right up inside there, see? I was wiping the excess on a line over there. And I'm pushing it right up underneath there. Okay. I think that's okay. Wipe that off like that. And when that dries, that's going to keep that from bulging out any higher than that, like in the summer. If I wouldn't have done that, I could still get that patch look okay, but then it's still going to be loose. It's still loose right around in here, but I didn't want to rip this out any further because, like I say, I could take a putty knife and scrape this whole wall off in one go if I wanted, because it's just puckering in certain areas. Okay, so that's how I do that for that stucco patch. You want to watch that stucco patch, keep watching my videos, and you'll see it coming up in the next few episodes. Watch for it on my channel. You see in there how deep that is? And I had floated this out with concrete a couple different times. I didn't really want to break that off, so I need to fill all that stuff up. And I just, you know, if you've never done caulking before, it's not really that difficult. I'll do that little bit in there. You get good at it after a while. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything. I'm going to try to stay out of your way the best I can. That might be kind of tricky. So I just want to kind of do it up high, and I don't want to fill up the whole thing because I'll do that with my finger. It looks like, it's like, man, you don't know how to caulk. But hey, okay. That's enough for now. Take my finger in there and wipe on it. Okay. Like that. There. So. Okay. There we go. There's only so many times you want to go and mess with it, you know. And I can, once that dries, before I leave, if I feel there's any more caulking that I have to do, I can add a little bit here and there, because I want to look underneath there and make sure I got it all. And that looks actually pretty good. All this is going to be covered up. I'm still prepping. It's all in the prep before putting the aluminum treads on. Could I have put the aluminum treads on and not done this? Yeah, I could have. But I'm trying to get this caulked and sealed underneath in case the aluminum stair treads ever leak underneath them somehow. I don't think they're going to, but I thought I might as well do this, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. You know, this is my third tube of caulking, and I've got a few more. I've got plenty of caulking to finish all these other different areas. Okay.